This is the Psychedelic Spotlight podcast. I'm your host, David Flores, CEO of Global Track Solutions. Now, when we talk about psychedelic assisted healing and psychedelic assisted treatment, there's certainly a lot of very exciting and encouraging news coming out in this particular sector of our industry right now. And one company that is focused on making a very significant impact when it comes to psychedelic assisted treatment is the company that I have the privilege of being joined by here today. The company is Atma Journey Centers. They're located in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And with me here today is the company's co-founder and co-CEO, Mr. David Harder. David, thank you so much for taking time to join me. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, we're very glad to have you on. And so with this being your first visit here to the Psychedelic Spotlight podcast, I'd love to give you an opportunity to provide us with a brief overview of Atma Journey Centers, what you guys are focused on, and maybe touch a little bit on the brand new 5,000 square foot clinic that you're currently sitting in and what you have planned for that facility there.
Yeah, thank you. When we started Atma Journey Centers, it came out of years of working in researching and studying and having our own experiences, as many of the folks in this industry would attest to. But just starting the Atma Journey Centers here was all about having an immersive place in nature where we could really help people dive deep. We don't want to be a scalable model in terms of being able to have people in and out, trying to shorten the trips. We're kind of doing the opposite, where we want to have people have full weekend journeys and have people in the nature settings that we're developing. So the clinic here that we're in right now is in downtown Calgary, which is opposite to that whole philosophy, but we needed a head office and we're doing some palliative care sessions. Sunday, we have another client coming in to do a palliative care session with psilocybin with Health Canada's 56 exemption. So that is happening here in town. But as we're doing this, we're developing the center just north of Calgary so that we can have these immersive experiences with the medicines as they come on board legally.
Very exciting. So you mentioned something that really caught my attention here. That was, you're not looking to develop an in and out experience, which is in quite contrast to what, I think the mental health care system really globally has been so, used to. You go in, you see a therapist or psychiatrist, you're prescribed a drug, you go pick up that drug, you take it, maybe you're back, seeing your therapist in a few weeks. This is a different approach. You're taking time with the approach, the immersive experience. You want to maybe elaborate a little bit more on the benefits and how creating an immersive experience is so important when it comes to psychedelic healing and treatment?
Yeah, I think it comes right down to your understanding of psychedelics as opposed to, say, pharmaceutical antidepressants, where the real advantage in the work of the psychedelic is shining a light on your psyche and your inner healer. It's like the opposite of trying to suppress the chemicals in your brain or trying to control what's happening in your neurons. It's really helping us get to our heart and understand who we are as people. And so trying to rush that in between a hair and nails appointment, we just don't feel like that's going to have long-term effect. Whereas really getting into the medicine in time and being able to sit with it and have people that really care, and then immersing them into community. So if you have a psychedelic experience and you go right back to the same trauma-inducing job or lifestyle or home or situation relationally, it's going to be tough to break out of that pattern, even though you've had this mountaintop experience. Whereas coming out of that and helping people actually make changes in their lives, that takes time. It's not something you can do overnight. It really takes a long-term thing. So our protocol is going to be at least 30, probably 60 to 90 day long protocols that people sign up for, as opposed to just a 2, 3, 4 hour journey. The journey will become part of this overall protocol that helps people jar out of that depression, anxiety, PTSD, whatever that is that they're working on.
Yeah, very, very interesting. So when it comes to individuals being able to sign up for an experience like this and being able to come to the Atma Journey Centers, what does that process look like right now?
Right now, it's a Section 56 exemption with Health Canada. So we have a process on atmajourney.com where you can sign up if you have depression, anxiety, PTSD, and palliative care. So those things are what we're offering to the government, and we're putting them through to Health Canada. And each situation they're looking at individually and approving or disapproving. So it's really out of our control. We do the service for free to get that application in. And then once that happens, then we can put them into these protocols that we're developing.
Okay, very, very interesting. So now I know another very—
That changes quick.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine so, and it's going to continue to, I think, be like that for a while here as the industry continues to sort of materialize.
Yeah,
But I think another interesting component that you guys are focused on is the training aspect and training mental health care professionals,
yeah,
which in my opinion is very important at this critical juncture in the industry's growth and development, being able to properly and safely train individuals who are going to administer these treatments and these
yeah.
programs. So do you want to elaborate a little bit more on these training programs that Atma Journey Centers is offering?
Yeah, for sure. We are 1 week away, yesterday, from our first week evening of training, and then after that, it's going to be a 10-week process, and that ends at the Catalyst Conference. That's part of the training program for the therapist. But the first tranche is really a high-level doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists that have signed up. We have about 29 total. We tried to cap it at 20, but we just couldn't hold the lid on it. And a number of significant voices from the industry, like Rick Doblin and Dr. Anthony Bosses, some of the really luminaries that are helping us with the content. But we know that this training, it's 10 weeks long, and many people take years and years and years before they really feel equipped to hold the space for these kind of medicines. So it is an introductory course, but after that, we have a number of people that have done a lot of work with medicine and are licensed therapists that we want to help, like almost like an internship, and train people over a long haul so that there's really immersive people, again, that really understand the medicine work. The exciting thing with this training program is that Health Canada has opened the door to a Section 56 exemption for therapists to experience it. So that's part of this training program, which we're really looking forward to, that journey night with all of our therapists to be able to experience this, many of them for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all about, that immersive experience that you guys are creating. I mean, with everything that you guys are focused on, not taking shortcuts, really just looking at how to really, deep dive into everything. And I think that's such a critical component of everything. I want to talk to a little bit here about the vision of the company, and this is, on the website, I'm going to read it here just to share with everyone, but has the Atma Vision as a world where each individual is empowered to explore, optimize, and heal themselves and their community through evidence-based science and the inner intelligence of psychedelics. That's really profound, in my opinion. I mean, I love it. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit more about the vision? I think that's such an important part of all of this, especially with so much going on in this space right now, understanding that you guys are in this for the right reasons. Maybe just talk a little bit about that vision.
Yeah, I've been really blessed. There's two partners that I work with, Greg Hapstrit and Vu Tran. Both share this vision deeply. We spent a lot of time developing that statement, and just really seeing the need. As you know, there's many companies, and I'm really grateful for all the money pouring into the space, and we can have judgments around the corporatization and all those things, and there's different ways of looking at that. But we really feel compelled that there is an opportunity for us who really feel the connection to the medicine to utilize this unbelievable time that we're in to grow something that is going to be able to allow this to grow beyond just mental health. Like, we believe mental health is the crack in the door. Palliative care has been the first thing that opened the door with Theracell, and Bruce Tobin's work has been brilliant to get that crack open. And then now mental health, I believe, is going to be pushing it further. But our vision is that, like we say in the statement, that every individual has the opportunity to engage with their inner intelligence and with the plant medicines. And so to that end, we want to be opening up a center in the South, in the Caribbean somewhere, where we can do this legally, not just because you've got a Health Canada exemption for mental health, palliative care, but because you just want to get in touch with yourself deeper. You want to explore that inner healer that is there, that you're living, but you're not fully living the life you were called to be. And so what is that glass ceiling that's holding you back? Or what are those spiritual things that you want to deal with? And so that we provide opportunities, not just for fixing people, which we feel is really, really important that we get to baseline, but also that we can transcend past that baseline into fully living, especially in a world coming out of COVID. There's going to be a lot of need for that.
Right.
So we're committed to that statement.
Yeah, I mean, that's wonderful. And I mean, what you guys are taking on, I mean, it's ambitious. There's no question about it, but you got to start somewhere. And I feel like the starting point that you guys are jumping off from is fantastic. And I think, you guys have everything ahead of you here. You mentioned, you touched a little bit on the possibility of opening up a clinic in the Caribbean. Maybe just want to share a little bit about some of what the bigger vision is here for the company as it moves forward and really starts to get the ball rolling with everything that it's doing.
Yeah, the bigger vision is that we have retreat centers in numerous places where people can access freely this treatment. And as Health Canada and the society, the destigmatization continues to just explode across the country and across the world, we believe that it's going to become possible for people to come to retreats, not have to go to the Caribbean, but even here in Canada in 5 years, maybe 10 years, where they can just go and really get in touch with themselves and figure out who they are and where they want to go. And so seeing those retreat centers where it's just a constant flow of people, communities forming, that there's people that really understand each other, finding each other in these places, because we believe community is such a big part of getting past the things that we're being stuck with and really learning to live. So finding those places that are, it's not just a clinic, it's a full immersive retreat program, and it's available anywhere you are in Canada and beyond the Canadian borders.
Yeah, most definitely. So last question before I let you go, I always love to ask this question to people that I connect with the first time that are in this space. What inspires you to be involved in psychedelic space here and everything that you are doing and everything that you are putting in here with Atma Journey Centers?
Great question. Coming from a very religious and spiritual background, and I look back at my past with great fondness, amazing home, but a lot of dogma. And then moving into more of a spiritual journey in my late 30s, 40s, and now coming to this place with these plant medicines that have literally changed my life. It comes from a very deep place for me. It's not something I read about, it's something that I saw some videos. Literally, my marriage would not be together. We've been together 31 years. My wife works with us here at the Atma Center. My understanding of myself, it's continually growing, learning how much I don't know about myself, that the plants have shown me that I need to continue to discover, and just really having a conviction that these things work. It's not just another medication. It's not just another opportunity to make money. It's not just another stock market bubble. All those things might be true, but it's a very deep place for me. And when I tell people about it, it's very easy to talk about because I believe in it at such a visceral level that it spills over.
Yeah, I love it. And I mean, you understand that balance that needs to be created between building a successful and of course profitable business, which of course is very important to shareholders, stakeholders, and those involved in helping to facilitate the growth of the company, but not losing sight of the big picture and what matters from a healing perspective and the impact that you have to make on society and the lives that you could potentially change. So I really respect that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Well said.
Yeah. So, well, David, I mean, thank you so much. This was a great introduction to Atma Journey Centers. I really appreciate it. We're going to get all of the information, the website information for the company included here onto the podcast. If anybody has, any additional questions, we'll be sure to submit them to you. But this was fantastic. And I appreciate the work that you're doing. I think it's so important. So we look forward to getting the word out on it.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate the work you do there.
Thank you so much. I look forward to connecting again soon.
You bet.
Thank you.